Hi VC. It's amazing, isn't it, the lengths you have to go to sometime to get some peace. I'm just in my car outside in the street. Made several attempts to make this video in the house. It just wasn't going to happen, so here I am in the car. This is just a farewell video. A farewell video for this amazing thread that's been running, that Fred started, the 1970s, Gimme 10. I haven't made a video myself in this thread, but I've really enjoyed so many of the contributions that people have made, and I just wanted to give my own little personal take on the 1970s, particularly the late 1970s, and it was something that John Downing said the other day, 6-inch pianist. He was talking in one of his videos about this kind of amazing period in the late 1970s in Britain, I think. I mean, I don't know about America, I presume it was the same there, but certainly in Britain in the late 1970s, music just became really amazing. I think genuinely there was this incredibly rich period where what was good and what was popular really did overlap in a big way, and the charts were suddenly full of just really great music. And for me personally, it was a great time because I mean, I was young. I was a really young music fan. Really, I was about 7 or 8 years old when this stuff kind of first started to filter through, and I count myself as being very fortunate that I feel like I was in the right place at the right time. But on the videos that people have shown, I mean, some amazing music has been shown, things like Bowie and Kraut-rock, all this critically acclaimed stuff, Joy Division, and clearly you can't argue with any of that. And I have those albums in my collection, but what I wanted to do on this video is just give a sort of personal take on kind of, what it was like to be a kid in that period where you didn't really know what was critically cool. You didn't really understand which music was going to survive, which music was going to last. You just knew the music that you liked. And some of that might have been a bit cheesy, and some of that might have been great, but, I certainly didn't differentiate. So I mean, what I have here is a pile of singles which for me sums up what the 1970s were all about, and quite a lot of these didn't get a look in any of the Gimme 10 responses. So I'm not arguing that this music is better or greater or cooler or anything. I mean certainly most of it isn't cooler. But this is the kind of stuff that I was really into in the 1970s, and I just wanted to share it with you. The first record that I really remember from the 70s was, I must have been very young indeed. This is Morning Has Broken. I had that when I was a kid, by Cat Stevens, just an incredible record. And it's funny how the memory cheats and plays tricks on you, because I always thought that the first proper single that I saw in the pop charts that really turned me onto music was Mull of Kintyre. But I checked the dates, and we have Money, Money, Money by ABBA, which I was definitely aware of. I remember seeing that on Top of the Pops and being very taken with that. But Mull of Kintyre was the first time, and I hadn't been exposed to the Beatles. I didn't know who Paul McCartney was or anything. And when I saw Mull of Kintyre, that just blew the top of my head off. It sounds really funny because now it's kind of seen, in some quarters it's seen as being a bit of a naff song. I don't know. I will defend it to the last, And Girls' School, it was actually a double A side, and Girls' School is a good rocking little number. It was my first exposure to rock and roll, so that was a massively important record to me. And the Wings music in the late 70s, you could argue now that some of it sounds a bit dated, hasn't lasted, but it certainly seemed very significant to me at the time, the music of Wings. And Paul McCartney was a sort of magical figure to me. He was like, Father Christmas. Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush, incredible. We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You by Queen. My first sight of Freddie Mercury in the pop charts. I was 6 years old. Absolutely changed my world. Amazing. This is a band that never gets a look in, ELO. This is Mr. Blue Sky, and actually, but the first single that I bought of theirs was Wild West Hero, but the one that I really remember enjoying was Don't Bring Me Down, actually, which was in 1978. they get no credibility, no kudos, but I mean, you know, Jeff Lynne was a one-man music factory, hit-making machine, incredible. Long-term viewers to my channel will know I was a big fan of the Motors, and in 1978 was when my kind of pop fandom really kicked in with their single Airport, and that was when Top of the Pops became for me a real weekly thing where I would tune in every week to Top of the Pops on TV and the Top 20 on the radio on a Sunday. I'd listen to it with my dad and I became obsessed, and every week I would watch how the Motors were doing in the charts, and music suddenly became extremely exciting. It was an amazing period because we just moved house, and I'd lost all my friends. I was trying to settle into a new neighbourhood, a new school, and music really became for me this big this kind of world I'd entered into. Absolutely magical. Part-Time Love by Elton John. You tell me, I don't know. I just loved that song. I really genuinely did. It's not even a Bernie Taupin one. That it's Elton John and Osborne, his other songwriting partner that he had for a while. I just loved it. I had it for Christmas with a new record player, and it was on the turntable. When I opened the record player, it was one of these big old 1970s record players, and that was on the turntable. I just liked it. Do you Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart. A lot of these records have my name written on them in pen, and that's because I used to take them to the school discos, and my mum would write the name on the label so that my record could be returned to me at the end. I never liked musicals or anything, but I was Grease, when Grease came out, You're the One That I Want, and particularly this one, Summer Nights. I just absolutely loved that record and the video from it. You know, Grease was a big thing, you know. I don't think it was mentioned in any of the Gimme 10s I saw. Also, don't forget the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever. I will defend that music to anybody, you know. I mean, people think it's naff, people think it's cheesy. Those disco records that the Bee Gees did, I think, defined, you know, 1977, that was the big hit sound. Brilliant records, brilliantly put together. I will defend it until my dying day. Another massive record, one for Bill here, Helmet Diggy, Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. Sums up 1978 for me, along with certain other records that I've got coming here. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. Big disco anthem from that period. Great song, great vocal performance. Rose Royce, Love Don't Live Here Anymore. And then things started to get a bit edgier. We had Like Clockwork by the Boomtown Rats, another band that I didn't hear mentioned on the Gimme 10s, but I didn't watch all of them, so maybe somebody did mention them. That's a really great single. Like I say, things are getting edgier by now, starting to get a bit more credibility, shall we say. Although I'm looking at this one, yeah, I mean, I love this record, Supertramp and Breakfast in America. Oh no, sorry, yeah, Breakfast in America. Really nice song. And then long-term viewers to my channel will know then in 1979 I got squeezed big time, Cool for Cats and Up the Junction, and that turned my life around. I won't talk about that now, you can watch my squeeze video. Just have a look through my videos and you'll see it. 10 Squeeze albums. And we'll finish the decade with a song. Video Killed the Radio Star. John Downing just showed their album The Age of Plastic as one of his albums of 1980. But I was looking on here and I saw this was actually released in 1979. Video Killed the Radio Star. And that really kind of ushered in the new decade. Just a personal selection. There were other songs and I can't find them. I can't find my records. There was Pop Music by M, which I completely loved, and which is now quite expensive. Well, I say expensive, it costs about £7 to buy that now on eBay. There was another song called Lay Your Love on Me by Racey. I know nothing about Racey at all. I just seem to remember really loving that album. Elvis Costello, Oliver's Army, so many, you know. But the reason I wanted to make this video was just to give a personal account, really. You know, music in the 1970s, truly, I think, in the second half of the 1970s, from 1978 to 1979, I think something really special happened. And I feel very fortunate to have been a child just at the right time, being very into music and being so excited by all this stuff. So anyway, that was my take on it, and I hope it makes up for the fact that I didn't contribute to the thread. That was my personal take on the music of the 1970s. Take care, VC. Have a great day. Bye. Also, I forgot to mention Dave Edmunds' Girls Talk, written by Elvis Costello. Check that, that's a great song. I'll put the link down below. Bye.